In this year of our Lord 1536, bring victory to the clan MacLeod! McLeod!
I don't know about you guys, but I still get the chills I felt when Connor MacLeod unveiled his stunning dragon head katana against a dramatic Scottish backdrop. It wasn't just the epic sword fights or the iconic phrase,
"There can be only one,"
that got me. It was the significance of his name, McLeod. This clan, steeped in history from the misty Isles of Skye, they faced off against Vikings and kings with unparalleled bravery. Today, let's explore the rich McLeod legacy together, from the real Highland soil to the fascinating myths at the heart of Highlander's timeless battle. Let's begin. First, we look into the basics. The clan MacLeod is an actual Highland Scottish clan linked to the Isle of Skye. The name MacLeod translates to son of Lode. The term Lode is an Anglicanized version of the Scottish Gaelic name Lode, which is believed to have originated from Old Norse. At present, it is common knowledge that the MacLeod clan consists of two main offshoots, the MacLeods of Skye and the MacLeods of Lewis. Nevertheless, the MacLeods of Skye established their seat at Dunvegan, which is still the chief's home today. This branch of the MacLeod clan is known as Seol Tormod, named after Tormod, the grandson of Olaf the Black, the clan's founder. Tormod's son played a role in supporting Robert the Bruce during the War of Independence, but the MacLeods mostly held on to their unique spirit of independence throughout the complicated politics of 14th and 15th century Scotland. There was a time when they wouldn't have survived, especially during James V's reign, but they did, all thanks to the 8th Chief of Dunvegan, Alistair Crotock, affectionately known as Humpback. Under his leadership, the famous ferry tower at Dunvegan was built and is now celebrated as one of the finest monuments in the Hebrides. Alistair was also a strong supporter of the arts, which is why you will see the flourishing tradition of piping and pibroch. If we are mentioning Alistair, then we should also mention Ruairi Mór, the 15th chief who continued the great work of Alistair Crotock and established Dunvegan as a cultural hub for the islands. His legacy lives on through a magnificent drinking horn that's a key part of every MacLeod chief's rite of passage. In fact, this horn can hold 1.5 bottles of claret and must be downed in one go. I'm not even kidding. Once you pick it up, it cannot be set down or knocked over. What's more fascinating is that the clan's most cherished treasure is the fairy flag of Dunvegan, which is said to have been woven by fairies and is believed to have magical powers. This special flag has been kept at Dunvegan for centuries and is thought to bring luck and fortune to the MacLeod clan. Now, the question remains, why did the Highlander franchise likely choose the MacLeod name? Some believe they chose the name because it beautifully captures that ancient warrior vibe, combined with a touch of Celtic magic. The real history of the clan is filled with fascinating supernatural stories, like the legendary fairy flag of Dunvegan. By using this name, the story taps into a rich tradition of mystical protection, making the idea of an immortal Highlander feel more authentically Scottish. What's really cool is how Highlander blends genuine history with its imaginative immortal mythology. The films showcase real places, like Eilean Donan Castle, which has its roots as a Mackenzie stronghold, while also diving into the exciting world of 16th century clan battles. They introduce the intriguing concept of the quickening, a powerful energy that's released when one immortal beheads another. In this unique lore, Connor and Duncan MacLeod aren't born into their bloodline as you might expect. Instead, they're foundlings, adopted by the clan, discovering their extraordinary nature only after surviving what seemed like fatal wounds in battle. The MacLeods in Highlander lore. I think by now we know that in the Highlander universe the name MacLeod means something, otherwise it would have been mentioned in passing and no one would remember it. Anyways, back to the topic. While the game among Immortals can sometimes be all about conflict and the quest for power, the MacLeod characters are truly the heart of the story. Why do we say that? Because they show us the deep beauty of living forever. I mean, it changes the story from just an action-packed adventure to a thoughtful look at what it means to be human. It's time we dive into the legendary MacLeod Immortals in the Highlander franchise. First, we have Connor, the first Highlander we meet in the Highlander franchise, who is the story's emotional and moral heart. He was born in Glenfinnan in 1518.
I was born in 1518 in the village of Glenfinnan on the shores of Loch Shiel.
His life changed drastically after his first death and being forced to leave his clan. Connor's immortality feels more like a burden than a gift. His story shows the high price of living forever. This is especially clear in his relationship with Heather, his mortal wife. Connor chooses to stay with her as she ages and eventually dies. This choice highlights a key value of the MacLeod family. They do not abandon their loved ones, even when they know it will hurt them deeply. In modern times, Connor works as an antique dealer. He surrounds himself with old objects because he is a remnant of the past. He fights not for the prize, but to keep it away from those who would misuse it. If we see Connor as the foundation, Duncan MacLeod shows how the philosophy of immortality has evolved. Duncan was born 75 years after Connor and is more thoughtful and mentor-like. Unlike Connor, who often worked secretly, Duncan's life is a grand story that covers centuries of travel around the world. This has allowed him to learn about different cultures, martial arts, and languages. All of this is the reason why Duncan is called the ultimate protector. In the television series, he experiences historical events, from the French Revolution to the Lakota Sioux territories, not to conquer but to witness and guard. His struggles often focus on the conflict between honor and survival. Many Immortals choose to hide or kill to stay alive, but Duncan follows a strict code of ethics. He often mentors younger Immortals like Richie Ryan, showing that the MacLeod legacy is about teaching the next generation as much as it is about winning the game. The MacLeod philosophy and code of immortality. Don't these characters, Connor and Duncan, make you wonder why MacLeods are constantly portrayed as someone who is hell-bent on protecting rather than conquering? Well, you see, the MacLeod clan has a rich history rooted in their Highland beginnings. When you pick up the fictional lore, they really put emphasis on the importance of community and protecting their homes. They show us how the Immortals behave. In fact, they also show us how they see their immortality as nothing but a responsibility. This is why they are often portrayed as the protectors of humanity, and they're not afraid to get their hands dirty to help others. Take Quentin MacLeod from the animated series, for instance. He's on a mission to make a desolate future better. We also catch brief glimpses of other family members during the Endgame era. Every time the MacLeod name pops up, it's like a signal that a hero is on the scene. They fight responsibly despite the power of quickening, not to become all-powerful, but to keep the world safe for the mortals they care so much about. I know some of you might be thinking, how is the series suggesting Immortals shape society? Well, to know that, we need to dig a little deeper. So, the rules of the game often seem like unchanging laws, but it has evolved across Immortal history, and Connor and Duncan MacLeod interpreted the game morally. I mean, think about it. If there had been no guidance, the gathering might have turned into a mindless battle where the strong harmed the weak. Instead, they created a code of ethics that shaped the Immortal community. How? Well, it seems that the MacLeods follow a code, which is that they reject the hunter or hunting mentality. Unlike ruthless Immortals such as the Kurgan or Kallus, who saw every encounter as a chance to take a quickening, the MacLeods made it clear that being immortal does not mean you have to kill. Connor MacLeod, despite experiencing centuries of loss, often chose to spare opponents who were not truly evil. He preferred exile or peaceful coexistence over killing. This choice implies that it helped in the creation of a class of Immortals, those who focused on art, history, or philosophy instead of just fighting. By refusing to engage in unnecessary killings, they showed that the game could be set aside, allowing an immortal culture to develop outside of combat. Apart from this, another thing that could be interpreted is that the MacLeods have the ability to foster strong mentor-student relationships among Immortals. They changed training from basic survival skills to an important duty that involved sharing knowledge and values. Take Juan Sanchez Villalobos Ramirez, for example. He taught Connor that the game needed more than skill. It required a deeper understanding. Duncan MacLeod improved this system by mentoring new Immortals such as Richie Ryan over many years. This mentor system helped keep stability among Immortals. They used this system to guide younger Immortals and make sure that new quicklings weren't just seen as easy targets for older predators. MacLeod emphasized that being immortal meant caring for the world, not just staying alive. Anyone can do that. You can say they had a much bigger role, and this approach created a helpful network of allies who supported one another during the challenges of the gathering. In the end, they transformed a supernatural curse into an ethical society.
Neither one of us can beat him alone.
Destiny, Bloodline, and fan theories. That's not all. Now that we have talked so much about the clan, its history, and how significant they became in the Highlander franchise, there is another fun debate. It is about whether the McLeod name carries any magical significance, or is just a quirk of history, to explore how a little bit of biology, destiny, as well as storytelling come together. It's one of those intriguing mysteries that keeps fans talking. When it comes to immortality, it's worth noting that it's not purely a genetic trait. Mind you, initially it seems to be a gift sort of thing that gets triggered by a violent death. However, seeing so many Immortals come from the McLeod clan, like Connor, Duncan, Colin, and Quentin, it will make you wonder if there's more to it than just chance. While immortality often feels like a random event in the show, fans have speculated that the pattern within this family might be hinting at a bit of destiny at play. I know it sounds bizarre, but it is as if the universe is on the lookout for a champion to fend off dark forces, and the Highlands of Scotland serve as a special place for this calling. This brings up an intriguing idea, the predestined champion theory, another popular fan theory which suggests that certain families might be shaped by time itself to act like a protective force for the world. If we dig a little deeper into storytelling, we discover something really important, the why behind it all. The McLeods keep appearing in tales because they have become the ideal immortal, something other newly turned immortals might look up to. Why? Because clearly they have a strong sense of honor and a deep connection to their roots, showcasing a wonderful clan spirit in a world where many feel isolated. Maybe this is when an antagonist hears McLeod, they know it's not just about facing a skilled swordsman, it's about confronting a whole legacy of strength and determination. Their uniqueness isn't just in their bloodline, but in the values they've been taught. Raised with the McLeod principles of family and honor, they tend to thrive longer than those who focus solely on themselves. Some fans have also come up with this fan theory that the McLeods are not just unlucky, but also targeted. They suggest that the quickening carries a collective memory, meaning that by passing down their skills through the McLeod family line, they refine the essence of their greatest warriors. It implies that the McLeods are like a single soul spread out over many centuries. In the end, the series invites us to ponder an intriguing question. Is it a special destiny that runs in the blood, or did a handful of remarkable individuals simply elevate a familiar name to legend? This mystery and unanswerable question is what makes it all so engaging. It allows the McLeods to be more than just superheroes. They are relatable characters grappling with a heavy but meaningful legacy. At the end, I would wrap this up by saying that the McLeods represent a deep truth about the Highlanders, which is the heavy weight of memories of life, loss, and the responsibilities that often come with great power. From their home on the Isle of Skye to epic battles, Connor and Duncan are the steadfast guardians of their clan. Whether it's fate or sheer determination, their story is what defines Highlander. So what are your thoughts and theories surrounding them? Share them in the comments section below. Thanks for watching.